Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the latest episode of Rick and Morty, Rick Stays 7 Nights. Let's see, Rick Stays 7 Nights. Yep, and I overall really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it more than the season premiere, mainly because it focused on exploring pretty much Rick's whole kind of relationship with people and what he kind of does. Because you begin this and you're like, what the fuck's kind of going on here? And then it sets up a pretty interesting kind of Rick versus Rick fight that we haven't gotten before. It's not completely physical in the sense of that you have a physical other Rick that you're fighting, but more of this Rick fighting himself. So we start off and we see this RV kind of like going through this kind of snowy place before it kind of swerves to dodge a deer and gets a fucked up tire. And the person then is able to create this patch out of nothing pretty much and gets the tire there and then goes about their business, also seeing the deer as well. And gets to this bowling alley and it's like, what the fuck's going on here? It's like, Rick is like, alright, but these people act like they know him, calling him Ted. It's like, okay, so he's getting drunk with them, playing bowling, and then kind of bucks out and we see that this person, Ted, is a pipe salesman, making some jokes about that as he goes to pretty much get beer, get some more Sixers with this other guy in the friend group, and that's where we get that the liquor store is in an attempted robbery, and then some kind of mechanical thing, the usual kind of robot parts come out of Ted and Rick, and take the dude out. It's like, holy fucking shit, as he gets in the RV, and we learn that this is Rick, but he's mind-wiped himself to pretty much have a 2-week vacation. He's picked a planet that's about like a couple hundred light years from Earth, but is pretty similar where it's pretty much like snowy and in about the 90s kind of era of technology and everything. And it gives, of course, the kind of Matrix choice of like, do the red button to pretty much get yourself back to Rick, blue if everything's okay. He's freaking out, pretty much takes out the RV and is able to get together with the bowling alley lady, and then gets together with his friends and tries to kind of figure out what's kind of going on before, of course, Morty is trying to get in contact with him. This like egg thing and other things are trying to like get him back to the usual kind of Rick, calling Rick's leg phone, and Morty's like, geez, he really doesn't want me to do that, and please don't lose the leg phone, even though he does. And we see that they fuck up the egg thing. The friends kind of help him out. They decide to pretty much home alone the bowling alley into some pretty ingenious kind of ways. This was a pretty good action scene as we see the drones that have Rick hair popping in to try and get this Rick, and we see like bowling balls exploding. We see bowling pins being utilized as projectiles. They're pretty much using nets and gas from like the sprinklers. It doesn't work out completely at first, but the woman, Marjorie, I believe, is able to kind of help out with that, but she gets killed. So this kind of pisses off Ted Rick as he then takes stuff from the RV, pretty much reconfigures it into a kind of probe, and is able to utilize pretty much fashion light travel to fling himself and his low-tech kind of space-suited friends to the Smith residence, blasting into the garage, and they're like, oh, okay, you're still kind of like fucked up for your vacation, alright, whatever, and let him pretty much do his thing, giving tech to the other people, putting them back onto their planet, and it kind of fucks it up because one of the friend group accidentally kills himself because of the tech that's kind of on there. This kind of fucking up Ted Rick as he's kind of going through and doing the stuff that Rick normally would, being drunk, floating in the pool, Space Beth being like, what the fuck, alright, whatever. Before he gets to Morty, and he's like pressing the red button and being like, yeah, he's pretty much back to Rick. And it's interesting that he decided to give him, like, he puts himself into this god kind of mode that, yeah, he's smart, but he kind of removes himself away from people, and then he's like, fuck, I kind of want to connect to people, so he intentionally dumbs himself down to then work with people. And it's interesting that he's got this kind of gauntlet to kind of get himself back, but throughout that gauntlet, it pretty much gets Ted to the Rick position without even having to utilize the tech. And it's funny because even though he's removed and mind wiped himself, he still has the intelligence because he starts doing all these kind of things, not that Ted needs to know these instinctually or whatnot, but he's still got the knowledge there, even though it's kind of hidden, and then building himself pretty much back up to Rick without even kind of trying. But the thing is, it's pretty much Rick's problem of putting himself above and away from people to the point that he then has the problem of, like, I want to connect with people, so he views that he has to dumb himself down and take away himself to be with people. And it just is interesting to see that juxtaposition and have that kind of conflict within this kind of story. And I liked exploring that for Rick. And it wasn't a completely funny, haha, laughing out loud at everything, but I liked how it explored things that were going on, how the situations kind of occurred, and then at the end, it was pretty funny as we're seeing him getting married to this, like, squid kind of person, and then Summer and Morty are coming to kind of pick him up and stop him from this. Summer trying to explain it to the locals and just being kind of like, God, I gotta deal with my grandpa doing with all this kind of stuff as he's, like, running away with his bride. It's like, whatever, man. Like, fuck you, man. So, I really like this, and I can't wait to see where this season will go next. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.